Hey everyone, it's Jessica Vaughn here, and I'm really excited about bringing you this message today because it's a little bit about my story. Now, I know that we all have this script in our head and the list of things that we don't think we can do, or list of things in our head that we just kind of like put off to the side that we just never think we're gonna do or be able to achieve. So I got my marker today and I'm going to write the things in my head that I thought I could never do or wasn't going to be able to do. Now, when I started as a Beachbody coach, I didn't feel like, let's start with number one. I didn't feel like I was qualified. Now, what I mean by that is I didn't feel like I was the person that people wanted to go to. Why would people want to be inspired by me? What was my story? I didn't feel like I had the credentials. Now, I don't have a nutrition degree and I don't even have a college degree. But what I began to realize is that that doesn't disqualify me from being able to help people, from being able to inspire people. I never claimed to be perfect and I never claimed to have it all together. I never claim to be a nutritionist. Actually, I tell people if they're coming to me for a meal plan that I don't do that, and I usually recommend it to somebody that does. I don't claim to be somebody I'm not. But when I first started out as a coach, I didn't think I was qualified. And maybe that's something that you also have in your head, that you just don't think you're qualified. The second thing was I was working full time. Like, when do you ever find the extra time to do the things that you really enjoy and that you want to do when you're working full time? And working full time, it's sometimes the crazy hours where, you know, you're working 12 to 9:30, or the shifts where it just seems impossible to get anything done because you're just tired all the time. Or, you know, I worked in retail management, so you would go from closing one night to opening the next. So I totally get it. I was working full time and I didn't think, how was I going to be able to pick up something else? And I was also just trying to pick up little odds and end jobs to just make ends meet at the time. So the third thing was I was young, right? So I was 22 when I first became a Beachbody coach. Now, I don't know if you have ever felt like you were too old or too young to start something, but I was definitely young when I started as a Beachbody coach. I didn't have experience in business and I didn't have experience in really running a team. I mean, I was a manager at my full-time job, but I felt like it was a different kind of leadership to an extent. I didn't know how to run social media. I mean, I had like 300 friends on Facebook, so I just wasn't sure if I had what it takes to be able to run my own business. I was young. I was still discovering who I was, what I wanted, what I was passionate about, what my goals were, what my dreams were. I just thought, you know, can I do this? You know, I didn't feel qualified. I was working full time. I was young. I mean, what business did I have creating my own business? That's what I thought. The next thing was I really didn't have the money. Now, being young and working full time, I wasn't in my own place yet. And I just knew that starting this business, it was going to be a risk. I mean, I didn't really know what was going to happen or where I was going to be able to go. I didn't have that vision yet. All I knew was that I really didn't have the money to join. And when I first signed as a coach, I really wasn't even on Shakeology that much because I didn't really have the money to afford it. Now, I'm not saying this is the right thing to do at all, and I'm not saying put this on your credit card, but I remember when I hit that point as a Beachbody coach that I needed to be a product of the product continuously. So it finally hit me and I started putting it on my credit card to be able to afford it monthly. Now, like I said, I am not saying to do this. You know, I've been a coach for over 5 years now, and I make sure that my team is comfortable with what they are doing, and I never want people to sign if they feel like they are not going to be able to make their payments on their house and stuff. So you know your situation, but for me, I just knew I didn't really think I had the money. So at this point, I just didn't really think I could do anything. I also, around the same time of signing up, just bought a house. Now, when I say I didn't really have the money, if any of you have a house or renting or anything, paying any kind of utilities, you know how quickly things can add up. I was getting paid every 2 weeks at my retail management job, and I just didn't think I was going to be able to do this, you know? So for me personally, it was just like, I didn't feel like I was qualified. I was working full time. I was young. I was 22. What the heck was I doing? I really didn't have the money to sign up. I just bought a house. You know, the list goes on, and the list can go on for you. But my question is, when does the list stop? Like, when do you stop just putting yourself down and saying that you aren't qualified and that you can't do something? You know, I can look at this list and there's more things that I could keep going on about why I shouldn't have signed up as a Beachbody coach or why I shouldn't have done some of the things that I've done in my life. But if I constantly kept adding to that list and never just started taking off the list and said, you know what, I can do this, I can't imagine where my life would be today versus where it is right now. So I'm challenging you. Quit putting things off. Quit adding things to your list about what you think is wrong with you or why you don't think you can do this. So for me, I just didn't feel like I was good enough. And for you, I'm telling you right now that no matter what you do in this life, you are good enough. Whether you feel like it's time to join my team as a coach or it's time to hit the train of jumping on and losing weight and becoming healthier, or it might be another job that you want to tackle or a hobby that you want to make into a business. Stop putting it off and know that you deserve this. So I want to share with you next what I did have. And what I had was passion. So let's get into that.